Hey, it's been a minute. I'm not going to explain myself this time. Hey everybody, it's Zero Gear Plus. It's been a time. I have been sitting working on myself for better part of a year and a half. Back at the end of 2023, I was talking to my therapist, who at that time sat down with me and said, "Have you ever given any consideration to the thought that you might have ADHD?" And I said, "I always knew I was a little eccentric. Never thought I had ADHD though, because like I don't have like the hyperactive everything." And she goes, "There's more than just hyper. There's more than hyper, and there's more than like dissociative, the ADD. Turns out I have a type of ADHD called combined presenting, where you get the worst of both. So that's fun." I realized after doing some research and working on myself and taking it easy on myself, because it's very easy to beat myself up when we get into these stints of, oh, I'm coming back to YouTube, and then I fall off, right? Turns out that has a lot to do with it, is that I'm not getting the dopamine rush that I need to keep going. Like long-standing stuff like this is very hard to maintain because it's just like it's not hitting my dopamine receptors correctly. I'm not medicated. I don't want to be medicated. Having done the rounds as a child for like anti-anxiety, antidepressants, I don't like how controlled substances make me feel, because when I don't feel like myself, I feel wrong, and that's worse than feeling better. So at this time, I am unmedicated. We've talked about meds in the past. I'd have to see a psychiatrist to get on a medication regimen, and she was not a psychiatrist, so she was like, "Hey, I can get you in touch with somebody that can do that," and I was like, "I'd rather not." So that's kind of where we are on that front. Not that I'm saying, if you get a benefit out of taking something like any medication for any disease, even if you don't necessarily need it to function, if it makes you feel better, like if it helps you improve yourself, do it. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you, well, this is wrong, or you can do better than this, or you're more than just your whatever's wrong with you, right? Because we're all fucking tired of hearing that. No, I decided that I wanted to do this the natural way. Even if it's the hard way, I like being in control of me, because just how my brain functions, how my brain acts, and that's all just that's where all my inspiration comes from. If you fuck with my brain chemistry, my ability to create things goes away. So, speaking of creating things, I haven't been doing nothing. I've got a couple clips of things that I actually want to show you guys. I'll reel the footage in a second. That I've been sharing with some friends on Discord. Just a much smaller audience than a YouTube channel, per se. And it's not that I don't enjoy making things or that I just feel like I can walk away from YouTube at any time. It's that staying connected, especially when you are tethered to YouTube, which is a giant algorithm machine. It's not just, I miss the days where I could just make videos that I made them for myself. When I started doing YouTube, when I started making Let's Plays originally, I was uploading on a fixed schedule because there wasn't an algorithm. I was just putting stuff out into the aether that I was using my imagination. I was using my creativity. I was doing stuff that was making me happy. It was therapeutic. It was cathartic. That's why I started doing YouTube stuff. And I still want to do that, but I've been doing this for so long now, and YouTube is a completely different game than when I started. So there's always that looming shadow towering over me in the back of my head going, yeah, but how is this? How is what you're doing sustainable? I know it makes you happy, but is it sustainable? Because if it's not sustainable, why even bother? So that's what I have to fight with every time I come back to the circuit of making content. Don't adjust your set. It's my webcam. This webcam hates me. I've done everything in my power to make it so that it doesn't just autofocus on nothing, and then you fixed. Thanks. I don't even know what's wrong with you. I don't get it. I need a new freaking webcam. And this is the new webcam. That's the problem. But yeah, I haven't been doing nothing. The whole reason I stopped uploading stuff is because I hit a snag with whatever the latest episode of Mystic Quest was supposed to be. I did it exactly how I was recording it before. I'm in Camtasia, which is making my computer chug. Just the way that Camtasia runs now as opposed to how it used to. I'm running it Camtasia, screen capture to ZSNESW, like doing it exactly how I did it before. And I can do it other ways, but I think the fact that this is how I was doing it on an older microphone at the time, and I switched back over to this one because I hated how that headset sounded. And it's just like, that's how it was. And it was very nostalgic. It felt good for me to do it like that. And so I'm making videos the way I've always made them. And so I go to upload this one. I edit it, I render it down, and it's finished. I go, okay, schedule for upload at this time on whatever day. And YouTube goes, there's no video here. I'm like, excuse me? It goes, yeah, I can't read whatever this file is you put in here. I'm like, you've been reading AVI files for forever. I've been giving you AVI files for forever. What's the issue? It goes, I don't know, but there's nothing here. So me being me and my now understood to be ADHD brain, I can't just skip a video, right? I can't make a video that fucking explains, well, this video doesn't exist because, and then complain about it. I used to do stuff like that, but I'm now so much just railroaded into the track mindset of no, if we do things sequentially, and I'm not going to upload the things past that without there being a legitimate reason or try to fix this one. So I ran it back through. I still have the codec for it, and it's just okay, well, I'll just render it as something else. That's fine. And it still goes yeah, I don't know what you want me to look at. I'm like, what is your problem, YouTube? And it goes, I don't have a problem. You have a problem. So thanks. YouTube doesn't like my content. That's cool. Doesn't want to accept any of my videos. So that's neat. Well, just specifically this one, and I'm the one that's having a meltdown about it, right? So, but I'm down, but I'm not out, right? So I've just been doing stuff behind the scenes. There's other aspects of my life, which is why I'm not super heavy on the content train either. Just because I hate fighting with myself, because it's, you fall off the wagon, you fall off the wagon, and you feel that endless cycle of shame. Because it's you were doing so good, why'd you stop? And it's because something got in my way, and now I have to be upset about it for a minute. And the minute never ends. And when it finally does subside, a month and a half later, because you forgot. The minute subsides in a week. And then you come back a month and a half later, and you're I totally forgot. I was doing stuff. And then you don't feel good enough now, right? So you're I shouldn't have left. I should have been able to power through this, and I failed. So what right do I have to continue? I wasn't good enough to fix it then, so why should I come back to it? It does. I don't deserve this. So I don't deserve to do something that makes me happy because I'm not good at it, even though this is an art. It's a purely subjective form of entertainment, and nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. So that's just where I've been and what I've been fighting with for the last however long, almost a year. So I genuinely, at this point, don't know what I'm doing with this channel anymore. Not to say I'm leaving. I'm not stopping stuff, right? But I don't have any aspirations for what I want to do. I just want to make things that I like, and they'll come out when they come out. Because I am not going to beholden myself again to this expectation that, well, you can stay on this path, right? And you will be able to maintain this path, and you will be able to encourage a strong relationship with your viewer base because of your schedule. Because that's just going to stress me the fuck out. And I'm not doing that. I'm not going back to that. That just fries your brain. So, or at least mine. Some people like that, interchange of encouragement, that tug of war game. That gives me agita. That's been my word of the month, has been agita, because that's, especially the times we're living in, everything's bad right now. So, just trying to fix stuff. I want to come back, even if it's slowly trickle feeding in, doing stupid, fun, small things. Like, I've got a backlog of things I have made, and I'll explain in a future video to give me something to look forward to be like, hey, yeah, you said you'd follow up on that, so do something about it. But, like, I have ideas. I have literal notebooks of videos I want to make. I just can't make them because the brain doesn't want to work. And if that was ever a reason to be like, well, maybe you should get on a medication regimen, it's like, yeah, but I'm scared. I'm scared how I'm going to feel when the medication hits, and then I'm a different person, and I'm not me anymore. So it doesn't matter what path in life you take. Like, you choose the wrong one, and that's just been my life up to this point. In my hobbies, in my career, it's always, the grass is always greener. But actually, no, it was a dirt yard when you started. You planted the grass yourself and you agonized over it. And they had to wheel you away to a mental institution before the grass could even grow in. So I never even had a chance to see it. And then I was gone for so long, they put my house on the market. So then somebody else bought my house. They're enjoying my grass that I planted. So it's bad. Mental health is no joke, kids. Take care of your brain. It's very, very important. If without your brain, it's going to mess up the whole rest of you. So I'm doing okay. I don't want to say, don't call it a comeback, because I never left. I never did leave. That's the honest truth of it all. It's just things have been piling up, standing in my way. And so I am trying to slowly remedy that. And, that's where we are. This is Yerger Plus, signing off. I don't know if I've showed my little collage of like things I've been making. So if I haven't already, I'll show it now. But if I have, this is the end of the video. So I'll see you guys around whenever I see you. So have a good day, everybody. Take care of yourself. All the pictures have all been washed in black. I've met God and I want more. You draw the line in the sand again. Did you make a stand out on the hill? Trust each other and embark on your journey. Search every room, avoid every trap, collect any treasure, destroy all who stand in your way. 今週の Music Friday! Name the game, win invisible points. They aren't worth anything, but they'll mean something to you. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon won't keep on shining on. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon won't keep on shining on. Only one question remains. Do you think you have what it takes? Hero Quest!